The word of the day is sponge. She
That's the fuck. It's
sponged all
been the
over
word
my
of the
floor.
week.
Yeah, that's the word of the millennium.
Splink.
Okay, anyways.
You good?
Yeah, I'm just jamming out.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try this build again. I haven't done this one in a while. So I found out that the president of Colombia, president or prime minister, I don't remember what they have.
Oh,
I guess the State Department decided to revoke his visa today
jeez.
because he joined a pro-Palestine rally in New York.
Oh my god.
And they're like, "Oh, well, he was inciting violence by telling people to not telling U.S. soldiers to disobey orders." And I'm like, he said, "Don't point your guns at humanity." It was clearly a metaphor. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Completely up Netanyahu's ass at this point. Like,
Yeah, that's why I
near his
said.
pawns now.
Yeah, that's why I said on Twitter. I was like, like, it makes you look like Netanyahu's bitch when you do shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Like, these people have, like... Hmm. I hate him. I genuinely hate him.
and I went to tag Netanyahu in that post, and one of the accounts that came up was Adolf Netanyahu.
Oh my god.
They took his fucking profile picture from Twitter and photoshopped a fucking Nazi Hitler mustache on it. Ah, it was great.
Yeah, they're totally okay with revoking the visa of the Colombian president, but totally letting a fucking genocidal maniac walk all over them. That's totally great. Love it.
Yep. Good shit.
Totally are like, oh, the left are fascists, but we're gonna silence the the people who disagree with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's just like, this is why people keep labeling you as fascists, guys. It's not fucking rocket science.
Okay, I need to get a gooner. It's a fucking sham, dude. Like,
Without the wow.
yes. Or the woohoo. Like, you're totally okay with being buddies with the president who literally ordered his soldiers to shoot children.
Yeah. They have no fucking morals.
Like, genuinely, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know, it's all bullshit. It's like, oh no, somebody came here and said that they want they want innocent people in Gaza to be protected. They want the UN to step in. It's like, oh, how horrible! What an awful thing to do! Like, what the fuck? And this is ultimately what it comes down to. What dirt does Netanyahu have on the current administration? Because is it a copy of the Epstein files? I bet you it is. I bet you it's something to that effect.
Well, you know what's crazy? Apparently, one of the last things that Charlie Kirk said on air was something about Epstein being part of Mossad. So...
well...
And it's crazy, like, basically being like, listen, did you kill did you have anything to do with Charlie Kirk's death? And he was like, what? No, that's crazy. That's what the Nazis used to say. Remember the Holocaust guys? Do you remember that? It's totally bad. Terrible. Terrible. But, you know, don't look at what we're doing in Gaza right now. That's totally fine.
Different. Yeah.
That's totally different. That's totally different.
We're getting kicked out of our homeland all the time, dude. That's what happens. Like, we're fighting back. We're taking back our homeland.
Well,
no, we don't have room to fit
that
everybody somehow.
it's crazy too, because he had the gall to be like, what? The Germans didn't ask the Jews to leave, you know, politely or whatever. Like, this is totally not the same. And it's like, that's what they did though. That's what they tried to do at first. That is what happened. They were like, we don't want you here. And then look where it led. The dude is literally Israeli and doesn't even know his own fucking history.
Oh, I got cloakered.
Crazy. Insane. Fucking insane. I mean, I don't even think it's that he doesn't know. I think it's just
he's
fucking...
he's just using excuses.
Yeah,
trying to make even if he has to fucking fabricate them out of thin air. Well, and that's the struggle, right? That's the difficult part of all this, I think, for most people, is and particularly, I would say, particularly white people more than anyone else, is that, you know, there's a lot of like weird shit going on with what Israel's doing, and there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of weird shit going around like, you know, just Jewish people, things that Jewish people are doing when it comes to Israel. It's disconcerting, but it's like, how much of it is like, it's like, I don't want to be Hitler, right? Like, I don't want to be that, but it's also like, I don't want injustices. So at the end of the day, it's like, it's really hard to find that, you know, that truth, because certainly there's going to be some propaganda that exists for like that's, you know, false information against Netanyahu and Israel and stuff, because that anti-Semitism sentiment has never died out, never will, right? That's just how the world works. But it's like, where does the propaganda end and the truth begin? And how far stacked against Israel and Netanyahu is it? Because I'm the more I see of it, the more I feel like they're taking advantage of just how fuzzy that fucking whole concept is. It's like, how long can you use the excuse of, well, 6 million of us were killed by a fascist regime 100 years ago? Almost 100 years ago. I know it wasn't quite, but...
Yeah, which again, no one's condoning that. And also, I don't think any sane person is condoning the actual murder of innocent people. And like, back when I was like misinformed on like, well, this is true, but I'm talking about like the Israelis who were slaughtered and whatever. Like, I mean, back when I was more misinformed on who Hamas was actually, then yeah, like I partially celebrated that, and I feel disgusting about that. But you know, after
I supposed to know.
out, well, because a bunch of the shit that's coming out of Israel is not even true. Like, they're trying to label.
How are you supposed to know?
Exactly. And it's like I told you, you know, like before I knew, I was like, what if even now, like, I don't agree with everything they've done and all that, but like, you know, what if Hamas was actually the, you know, freedom fighters and stuff, and we're just hearing a different side of the story? It's horrible, but also,
well, it's hard to know the truth on that too. Yeah,
they've raped their hostages and shit, and that's not okay.
Well, and that's the thing, is like, Hamas existing or not, there are innocent people on the Palestinian side that are getting caught up in disgusting fucking acts from Israel. And I understand that you kind of have to turn into a monster to defend your land. I get that part. But I guess I'm just, and maybe this is just my ignorant, you know, American self not knowing enough about the whole situation, as if I ever could, with how much propaganda and misinformation goes around. But
yeah.
But I guess I just don't get why Palestine can't become a sovereign state. You know, have their own land. Like, Israel seems really unreasonable about it.
It's just fucking stupid chest beating crusade shit is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gaza is where Jesus was allegedly born and everything, and that has to be can't belong to fucking Muslims.
Who gives a shit? Like, I'm sorry. And this is what it really comes down to yet again, is it's people killing each other over religion. And if you kill someone over your fucking religion, you're dumber than dirt, honestly.
You're despicable.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Shouldn't kill people over science, either. Like, I don't understand what the fuck we're doing with this shit. Like, what?
Religion shouldn't be focused on hate. If you have a religion, it should not be focused on hate and like... There's something I wanted to bring up, too, that I keep thinking about a lot. So, I'm gonna look up their name really quick. There was an American activist in Israel that was murdered by the IDF, named Rachel Corrie in 2003. And all she was doing was protesting a Palestinian home from being basically completely, like, run over by, like, machines and stuff. And she was peaceful. She was not armed. She was just standing there trying to protect an innocent home from being basically run over. And she was fucking crushed by the machinery. They ran it over her on purpose. And she was an American, mind you. And she was basically fully run over by, I can't think of the exact, like, stuff that flattens everything. Like, she basically was bulldozed on.
Oh, there's a key card back here?
Yeah. And she died a horrific fucking death. And the Israelis turned her death into a fucking joke and made fun of her by making fucking pancakes with her face on it.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Pretty fucking disgusting, though.
Yes, but the fact that Israeli people are known to fucking do this shit, like, all the fucking Israeli people on, like, TikTok making fun of, like, having, like, you know, racist depictions of, like, fucking Palestinian people being murdered and shit, like, why do I have any fucking sympathy for you? When you act like that when another fucking human being is being murdered?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, we can't devolve into that level of degeneracy of celebrating murder.
No. And it happens at such a young age, too. I don't know how real this video is, but there's a video of, like, this man talking with an Israeli child on, like, Skype or something. And, you know, the girl's like, oh, I'm from Israel. Where are you from? And he's like, oh, I'm from Palestine. And immediately she starts, like, spitting at the camera, cussing him out. And this is like a 5-year-old.
Jesus.
I want to believe that shit's not true, but I don't. I mean, I think it's real. And it's like, I have no sympathy for these people. Sometimes. Like, it's really horrible.
No, I totally get it.
And it's like this whole culture is being like, you're just becoming a fucking hateful group. Like, and why? Like,
well, that's why I've said, like Netanyahu is basically modern day Hitler at this point. He's become the very same cultish death machine that he claims to hate so much.
And it's horrible because I don't like saying that, because I know that, like, if because they are able to use the ultimate fucking defense for anyone who's critical of, like, of the shit, being like, oh, well, you're just an anti-Semite, you're an actual fascist, you're a Nazi, because you have dissenting beliefs of what Israel has become.
Well, and I will say this, and I'm I'm gonna be real as fuck about this, right? Jewish people, not entirely. Obviously, this is a generalization. It's not true for everyone, but a lot of Jewish people, particularly Zionists, they have lived with a victim mentality for a very long time, and they need to stop it. They need to give it up. It's over. It's fucking over. And I'm going to say that a great example of a group of people that they should look up to in terms of, their place in society, like their sort of like, disadvantaged stuff from like just various issues, right? Is, I would say, Japanese people, like Asian people in general, Japanese people especially, because Japanese people used to be put in internment camps during World War II in the U.S.
Yeah, which is not talked about nearly enough. It's horrible.
It's not, and of course there was the railroad as well. They had Chinese people building the railroad, and treated like slaves and all that, and it wasn't just Japanese or Chinese people. It was anybody who looked even remotely Asian, basically, was thrown into these internment camps because the U.S. was afraid that they're being traitors or spies or whatever. But now you look at it and you have Asian people are doing the best of any group in the U.S. right now, ethnic group in the U.S. In general, they have they have like the best positions of in like companies and stuff. They make a great amount of money. They do very very well for themselves. Very hardworking people, and they don't have some fucking victim complex over the shit that they've been through. And not to say that it's wrong to feel some type of way about having been wronged by some people. There's nothing wrong with that. But using it as an excuse to be able to do bullshit, evil things that are just as bad as the things that were done to you is wrong. Mm-hmm. It's fucking bullshit, and I'm sick of people justifying it. It's like, no. Well, you have to be better than the people that you claim to hate. You can't just become them. Like, well, what the fuck happened to the golden rule of do as unto others as you would have them do unto you? I'm sick of this shit.
No, it's terrible. And eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Like, that's the whole thing, right? And it's crazy
the classic words of Butterfinger 11.
Oh, amazing.
They definitely giants.
But like, even with because like, what Americans did to the Japanese, it was bad. Like, obviously it wasn't bad as like Auschwitz and stuff, but very similar along those lines. And you also have, obviously what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like, I've seen pictures of the aftermath of that, and it's also been described as like a graveyard turned upside down because of just how many dead bodies were littered in the streets, and people who would die just by trying to drink water. And because their bodies were so warm, it literally threw their bodies into shock, and they would die immediately. So there were dead bodies littered around like these tainted rivers because, they were just completely, their bodies just gave out after a single sip of water. And obviously not to even like talk about, the after, like the like birth defects and stuff probably from having people exposed to that amounts of radiation, and how people had permanent scars on them because the bombs literally like seared their clothing into their flesh, and so it left imprints of like the patterns on their shirts and stuff. And it's horrific. But from what I know of, Japan is not really upset and trying to play
They're
victim.
actually just genuinely very, overall, fairly chill people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little bit xenophobic. I mean,
sure, but overall, they're all about, they've become very much like about like commerce and engaging with the outside world, even if they're not super welcoming to them all the time. But they still, and even still, they do still welcome tourists and stuff like that. Unfortunately, a lot of American tourists, well, just Gen Z millennial tourists have just been kind of shitty going over there. Also, yeah, sorry, Pladsy. It seems like every time you join the stream, we're talking about some crazy shit. Cass likes to go on her tangents about Auschwitz and shit. Why not, right? Like,
Listen, it was on topic.
it was, yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's better that we're in the politics category now. Is just because we talk about a lot of heavy shit, and people tune in for a payday stream and they don't expect to see that for sure.
All right, you can put your DNA in.
Okay.
No, over here. Kidding. But and I mean, again, you know, I still think, you know, these atrocities should be taught in full in schools and stuff. I think people should know some of the darker sides of history, because we are doomed to repeat that shit if we do not know about it and try to learn from it. But at the same time, you know, just because you were victims...
There's another key card over here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I tried to grab it earlier and then I couldn't because I already had one. But, you know, just because your people were victimized before doesn't mean that you are allowed to become the abuser. And you are allowed to take out your generational trauma and anger on people who are simply just trying to live their life. And simply because they either have a different skin color than you, or they live in the place that you want to live, or because they have a different religion. It's disgusting. And people trying to say that's okay, and thousands of like big Hollywood actors apparently signed this thing basically because there's a boycott right now, and a bunch of people are basically like Javier Bardem and a bunch of really big names are like basically boycotting some, like, if people are working in like an Israeli studio or something, they're boycotting them. I don't know exactly for sure, but there's people who are counter protesting that shit, and it's like Liev Schreiber and the lady from fucking Jeopardy and The Big Bang Theory signed it, she's also a staunch Zionist too. She said it herself, and she's very, you know, oh, but we can't, you know, silence things. But it's like, you're trying to silence people too. Like, it's this never-ending victim mentality that when you're seeing a fucking genocide happening right before your eyes, people being literally herded into places to kill them easier.
Yeah,
the death toll from Hamas is nowhere near amount the death toll of what's happened in Gaza now.
And like, it's like Plazi's saying about schools, at least in Europe, teach history, especially focusing on the very bad parts. I mean, I learned a lot about world history and why it was bad. And my schooling was split between the U.S. and Canada, and my experience only really extends to like the places that I specifically went to school at, which would be Illinois in the U.S. and Alberta here in Canada. And I'm a pretty I would say I'm a pretty, like, well-versed person in a lot of world history and stuff. Even if, you know, people have tried to, like, retroactively change what some of that stuff meant. And I would say that a lot of the people that you would think are, like, really stupid Americans or even stupid Canadians, because actually the education system here is far worse than where I'm from. The thing is that it's not that they're stupid, it's that they just didn't pay attention in school and just coasted. Or they forgot stuff. And they make the rest of us look bad. And that's the thing, like, I coasted too to a certain extent because I didn't fucking, like, pay attention in school at all. I had so much trouble with that stuff. But I'm just smart, so I just ended up, like, being able to kind of cheese the exams because nobody knows how to write multiple choice questions without giving away the answer in the question.
So over here, marching band stuff. My baby cousin is doing stuff for like high school. She's at some nationals thing, and we're streaming on the TV. And now they're playing fucking Chapel Roan's Pink Pony Club. I don't know if it's actually them or if it's another team, but it's really funny.
You mean Chappelle Rowan?
Chappelle Show Rowan.
Chappelle Show Rowan. The alphabet people. There we go.
I'm gonna keep on dancing I'm gonna keep on dancing
Nope. I like just filling the room with poison. This is fun.
It's awesome. I'm guessing you're on your leech build? No,
One of them.
You're on
Yep, I'm on one of my leech builds.
Oh, okay. How are you? Oh, you're using the grenade launcher. That's why.
Yep. Viper grenades, baby. Apparently, some group of fans released a Payday fan film, like a 20-minute short film about Payday.
Oh, really?
Today, and the Payday 3 Twitter like shared it too, and
like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we've got our popcorn. Go check out this fan film, and I'm like, finally, you can fucking you can learn from people who actually give a shit about the franchise, like, you know, how to actually cater to the fan base and stuff instead of catering to your own wallets.
Yeah, that. Ironic, honestly, especially because they literally just tried to pull some really fucking snake shit and try to make money, and then whoop, I guess your baby was your mistake.
Oh, we're really sorry we got caught. Rat bastards.
Honest.
Whoop. Shot in the back. Thank you.
What'd you say?
You shot someone that was shooting me in the back.
Oh yeah, I guess it was a cloaker.
You think that Payday as a community died when General McBadass quit making videos on the game? Yeah, maybe. I don't remember if I've seen any videos from him.
That's a very, like, 2012 username.
Yeah. Like, I've watched a few different creators. I don't remember all their names. I know I've seen some stuff from the Noli. His stuff is okay. I don't really think that he's... he doesn't seem like he's like I don't know, like a core pillar of the community for Payday. It seems like he's... I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn or anything, because I'm really late to the Payday fandom and everything, but it just Noli seems like he's kind of a poser in a certain sense. I don't know. So General Badass was basically like a stealth YouTuber guy who, in your point of view, was a very, very crucial pillar of the community, considering he's been basically playing the game since day one, all the way up until the last DLC before it released. Which I know that that last update for this game was like the final straw for a lot of people. That was a big problem for people, because like the Epic Games services matchmaking was, I don't know why they did that. Like, there has to be some reason for it, right? Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just make it entirely peer-to-peer. because it's technically peer-to-peer already, but they use. Oh, wow.
Which
Okay,
is-
that's odd.
Fuck off.
And you know it's bad when the Payday guy leaves and goes to find an actual job instead of continuing to make videos on the game. Like, even he knew that Payday was going in the very wrong direction when Payday 3 released. You don't even think he bought the game. Probably not. I think a lot of people like played the network test or the beta or something and were like, this is bad. 'Cause I played the network test and I was like, this is fucking terrible. I thought, like, okay, there's a couple cool mechanics, but I don't really like how the systems have changed. They don't really make any sense anymore. How, like, lobbies are formed and all that. And then, of course, there was only one heist to play in the network test anyways, which is, like, I guess I get it, but then they, but I was still like, it seems kind of red flaggish. So I waited and was looking to see reviews and what like the community thought, because again, I'm fairly new to the Payday fandom, so I was like, well, I'll wait and see what the veterans think because they'll know better than I do. And everyone was like, this is fucking terrible. They have even less content than Payday 2 had at launch, because I thought it was just people complaining that they had less content than a game that has been updated consistently for 10 years. I was like, oh, well, what are you talking about? Of course it's going to have less content. But no. Just less content, full stop. Like, oh, man. And then they changed a bunch of things that need to be changed, which, again, I talked about this yesterday, of, like, reinventing the wheel, you know? It's just, why? Like, don't fix what ain't broke. It's fucking
It's just
stupid.
so stupid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they were thinking with a lot of these changes. And then, like, to add a subscription service for a 12-year-old game that's not getting updates anymore, still has a lot of notorious bugs and problems, like, just, what are we doing? You looked it up because you weren't even sure if anyone else knew this guy. Apparently Overkill themselves acknowledged him back in 2015, so that's saying a lot. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel like, Overkill / Starbreeze have kind of lost the plot. They don't get it anymore. They don't. I mean, they lost their global brand ambassador, basically. Like not ambassador, but director. They lost one of the founding members of the team that made the Payday franchise what it is. I can't wrap my head around how it I guess what's kind of silly about it is that Payday 2 and Payday 3, the end result of all of it is kind of similar to Splitgate 1 and Splitgate 2. They had two golden geese and they killed them. Except Payday 3 wasn't a second golden goose, to be fair. Splitgate 2 could have been, and they fucked it up like 6 months after the beta launch. It's like, how? How do you fuck it up that hard? How are you this stupid? To not only fuck up the sequel to one of the most successful games of all time, but also retroactively kill off the community of that original game. Like, yeah, people still play this, but in much lower numbers, and they really, really, really hate you as a company now, and won't buy your new game, and won't support you anymore, and will actively criticize you on all social media, like you fucking deserve. This is why I say, instead of looking to the Bible for morals, read Aesop's Fables. Read about the golden goose, read about the boy who cried wolf, all that stuff. You'll be a much better person afterwards. Yeah, all the people who made Payday the Heist and Payday 2 left back in like 2017. And you like to point out also that the people that did work on Payday 3 were actually trying to make it good. Couldn't due to Deep Silver, who influenced... Wait. Deep Silver? That I didn't know about. if I had known that Deep Silver was involved with Payday 3 at all throughout this whole time, I would have been much less charitable towards it from the beginning. Because I fucking hate Deep Silver. I've hated Deep Silver for a long time. I really don't like any of their games. I played Dying Light, and I genuinely cannot understand why people enjoy that game. The first one. I didn't even finish it. I'm like, this is so poorly designed from the ground up that it's not worth my fucking time. I could go play literally any other game and enjoy it more, probably. It's not the worst. Well, to be fair, it's not the worst game I've ever played. But probably one of the worst popular games I've ever played. So Overkill was running out of money. Deep Silver went up to them and offered them budget. They accepted, published the game. I thought that was Starbreeze. So is Starbreeze related to Deep Silver in some way? Because I didn't know this. Deep Silver's trash, man. Deep Silver killed off Volition. Pretty sure that's what happened. That was the... But in exchange for the budget, of course they wanted to overlook development. Yeah, because Deep Silver has not learned the Aesop Fable lesson of don't kill your golden goose. It's like Embracer Group. How is it that Tencent knows this? To not kill your golden goose? Like, what? Let it lay its eggs. Leave it to its fucking things. Give it the things it needs to like live, but don't get in there trying to figure out how it does its thing. You'll never figure it out. You didn't do it. It did it. It's like I don't know. Like it's like the people who run CDP, CD Projekt, which is the parent company of CD Projekt Red. I know it sounds weird because they have almost the same name, but they are separate companies essentially, and sort of. I mean, they formed a publishing company themselves at the start, but then CD Projekt is like they function sort of like a board of directors for CD Projekt Red, to my understanding, and I guess the thing is that the people who are in charge on CD Projekt are the people who ruined Cyberpunk 2077's launch. Like, it's not the dev team. The dev team did the best they could with what they were given, and they weren't given much. And then, of course, they installed their own new CEOs. They have two CEOs. Technically, it's a very strange system, but those people are garbage, and it's really leadership that's the problem at CD Projekt and CD Projekt Red. It's the leadership that's the problem, and not the devs, because the devs are still passionate, and I don't fucking know who's on their art team, but they are some of the... Well, I know one person who's on their art team, or at least key art, and he is my favorite 3D artist of all time, and he's done some of my favorite designs in all of 3D. I mean, like he's incredible. It's Birio Tedeschi, South African guy. He also did, I don't know if anybody remembers, the old Sapphire graphics cards covers. The Radeon series. Oh, man. Peak design. Peak 3D art. Love that guy. Ow. It's not even my style either, but I just love his work. Wow, 20 people working on a broken piece of shit, yeah.
Jeez.
And I also love that, like, the Unreal Engine stuff, because, like, it's a popular engine for good reason. It's a very solid engine, but because it's so popular, everyone's like, man, there's a trend of like bad games being in Unreal Engine, and it's like, yeah, when something's popular, there's going to be more bad things of it, right? Like, it's just like ESO had a much better community before it became much more popular, and now it's like just as toxic as any other game. I mean, it's still better than most games. Like I would say, BDO is worse, but yeah, like Unreal Engine isn't really the problem. It's people who don't know how to use it, and because I mean, there's plenty of games made in Unreal Engine that are fine. You'd also like to point out that Deep Silver published Dead Island 2. Yeah, they published Dead Island 1 as well, I'm pretty sure. Because they also own Techland, who did Dead Island and Dying Light. And Techland is also trash. They've been trash forever. Yeah, Deep Silver. Deep Silver also owned Volition, I believe. Let me double check my facts on this because I might be wrong, but I think Deep Silver owned. Yep. No way. Okay, that I didn't know. Deep Silver Volition was an American developer in Champaign, Illinois.
That's close to where you lived, wasn't it?
Very close. I've been to Champaign a lot of times. I've been to Champaign. Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, they made so Volition made the Saints Row series, and Deep Silver shut them down, forced them to make a terrible, like, poorly written fucking reboot of the Saints Row franchise that nobody liked. And then when it didn't do well, shut them down. Because of course they fucking did. It's just a shame. It's just a shame that like these publishing companies that kind of come out of nowhere and just totally fuck up these beloved franchises because they're like, oh, I see dollar signs because this was really popular, so I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna get a piece of the pie, but I want to make it my own because I think I know better than the people who made way more money by being original and creative than I've ever done by doing anything. Yeah, the major corporations think that the best way to combat a problem like a game not giving them enough money is to fire everyone who worked on it. Yeah, yeah. Rather than pin the blame on the people who are actually responsible for it being bad, the leadership. In almost every case, it's the leadership. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be talentless hacks who work at companies that make games, but it's like I would say it's fewer and far further between. Granted. Maybe I'm a bit of a weirdo on this, but I wouldn't prioritize hiring people out of a game dev school over hiring people who are passionate. People want degrees, and my experience, people who have degrees in game development know a lot less about game development than people who don't have a degree. Oh yeah, the Tomb Raider reboot games. Yeah, I heard those were really bad. They just looked bland, too. Like, they didn't look like they had anything unique or interesting. They were just trying to be Uncharted, but, like, lower budget, basically. And they were published by Square Enix, or at least I think the second one was? Something like that. Make, like, 20 assets. And then reuse them everywhere? Yeah. Like, if you're gonna do that, at least reuse them in a way that's not obvious. Yeah, that's insane. Because I can understand, like, maybe you want to do, like, you want to create a couple of procedural textures for adding detail to your models, but and you want to reuse those procedural textures over and over again, but then you add specific details that add to that specific model, like, to make it look more unique based on whatever it's supposed to be, right? But Save file was erased like 7 times in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep playing it at that point. I would just fucking throw it out. Demand a refund. God damn. I mean, granted, I've had like corruption issues in the past, but it's usually because I have a hard drive is going or something. Huh. I actually have a copy of Mario Sunshine that crashes at the same spot every time. Because I think there's just like a scratch on the disc, or like the disc is corrupted in some way, just at that specific cutscene. And it's one of the Shadow Mario fights, or Baby Bowser fights.
6.
Every single copy of a game is personalized. Yeah. Alright, I'm probably going to end the stream here. I have some plans for some more stream stuff I want to do in the future. I'm probably going to do some art streams and stuff as I work on stuff before I do the DOJ streams every day. Hopefully they finally get the files out soon, because I'm getting tired of doing this, but, I mean, I'll persist as long as I need to.
Yep.
65 fucking days.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, got all the links to everything in the description below, or like the thing below. There's also commands for Discord and YouTube, and I don't have a command for Twitter yet. I'd probably get one. Or no, I do. I think I added one. But yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more DOJ, and then I'll probably get started on my art streams fairly soon. I have some other stuff I gotta finish before I do that, but yeah.